Well, now that National Signing Day is behind us, we get to look forward to next year as football just never stops around the country and especially here in the state of Arizona. So welcome into the Recruiting Roundup. This is Jason Jewell, our high school football recruiting insider. My name is Jared Cohen, bringing you the latest in Arizona high school football recruiting. And the last player left over from the 2013 class that hadn't signed yet, quarterback Tyler Rogers. Well, he did sign over the weekend.
Finally made his commitment, committed to Air Force. He was a kid. We were talking about why didn't he have a bunch of offers. Had South Dakota State, had North Dakota, tried to commit to North Dakota right before signing day, and they had a prior commitment. He was really left with nothing. So he decided, wait it out after signing day, see if something would pop up, maybe with ASU's quarterback controversy, losing Dobbs, see if he might get an offer from them. Did not, and committed to Air Force.
Tyler Rogers, an extremely talented quarterback, could be a very good get for Air Force when all is said and done. Now, let's look into the 2014 class. We've said a few times that this could be one of the best classes ever in the state of Arizona. When we've talked about some of the top players, but what makes this class so great, Jason, is how deep it is. So we're going to get into some players that are adding to that depth. And the first one just received a pretty substantial offer just this past week, Chaparral's Tyler Wily.
He was just offered by Oklahoma, had previous offers from Washington, ASU, and U of A. He's a dual threat kid, could play cornerback, could play wide receiver. He's dynamic on both sides of the ball. I've loved him since he was a sophomore at Boulder Creek. Transferred to Chaparral and had a great junior season. He's a kid that's absolutely going to blow up and have probably 10 to 20 offers before it's all said and done.
And then when we're talking about this 2014 class depth, you try to look for the players like the Kenai Benoits or the Elroy Masters from 2013 that had little to no offers before the season started, but had big senior seasons that totally changed their future. The first one we're going to talk about is a new kid coming back into town, Jaylen Johnson. Had brothers play at the high school level here in the Valley. He's going to be at Sal Point next season.
Very big name. The Dubosky name is huge here in Arizona. Jaylen was at Brophy, moved to Texas. Now he's back at Sal Point. Doesn't have any offers yet, but he had 1,200 yards receiving as a junior in Texas. He's a kid at Sal Point, will get plenty of recognition. I expect before it's all said and done that he'll have his choice of schools.
There's one player out at Coolidge. His name is J.T. Gray that's received a ton of attention of late from some FBS and Pac-12 schools. Talk a little bit about JT.
Not many kids go down to, or schools go down to Coolidge and look at their prospects. Coolidge hasn't had a Division I guy in quite a few years, but there is talent down there. JT's a kid, 6'1", 195 pounds, and he averaged 15 yards a carry as a junior. That's ridiculous. Is also a very good safety. Could be an outside linebacker at the next level. Already been offered by ASU, U of A, and Oregon State.
Desert Vista's had a great defensive line over the last couple seasons, and a lot of it is because of the guys in their 2013 class that are all playing at the next level. But there's one in the 2014 class that could end up being better than all of them, and he's one of the biggest kids I've ever stood next to. That's Jaylen Johnson.
Jelks is like 6'7", 250 pounds. He's a kid that towards the end of last season started coming into his own. His film is crazy good. You start watching, when I watch players, I watch the first 6 or 8 plays and think, oh yeah, he's pretty good. But his film for the first 5 minutes are very, very good, sound plays. He's already been offered by the University of Arizona as a defensive lineman, but he's a kid, could end up being an offensive tackle, at the next level. I expect a lot of offers for this kid being one of the top recruits in this class.
One kid that is already currently playing offensive tackle in Arizona is Quinn Bailey at Higley.
He's been offered by the University of Arizona, 6'6", 260 pounds. Higley also not a big-time school as far as putting a lot of kids at the Division I level yet, but there is some talent out there. Kelvin Fisher, a couple years ago, playing at Arkansas. I like this kid a lot. Big, long, has a nasty streak. Like I said, U of A is his first offer. He'll get some more pretty soon, though.
And the last player we're going to talk about today from this 2014 class that could be floating under the radar is a great story. His name is Jordan Hoyt. Comes from Chandler High School, missed all of last season because of a knee injury, so he plans to make a big impact in 2014.
He's a kid, after I watched his sophomore footage, that I pegged as a Division I, surefire Division I prospect. 6'2", 245 pounds then, is already bigger and thicker, is physical inside, tore his ACL, so he missed all of his junior season, like you mentioned. He's going to have a big senior season, do well at some camps and combines to start getting some offers. Probably won't happen for later for this kid, but he's a kid I really like his motor, like his physical tools, like his intangibles. And at Chandler, he's going to get plenty of recognition. Plenty of schools roll through Chandler to recruit.
It reminds me of Trayshawn Favors, the running back out of Mountain Ridge, missed his whole junior season, ended up having a great senior season, and now he's going to be playing at the next level. Jordan Hoyt could be a similar story.
Very similar.
So that's it for this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup, bringing you some of those 2014 players, that great depth that the class has, on top of the great talent that there is to begin with. Until next time, this is Jason Jewell. My name is Jared Cohen. This has been the Recruiting Roundup on ProsToPreps.com.